Hello, welcome back, my friends. I am not going to pronounce the name of this flower. It's very pretty, but I am not going to. It is a flower from Altenew. If you know me, I've got plumeria. I know that is a frangipani, but that's about as far as we go. Yeah, I'm not good with those things. I have some Paper Rose Spring Garden cardstock here, and I'm just adding a little bit of moss and olive for a little bit of shading, a little bit of variation. This cardstock is Cornflower Blue, also from Paper Rose. Now, Paper Rose has a really beautiful, really good quality. It's sturdy, strong quality. The blues that I'm using are also ones that I'm going to have a big problem pronouncing. I do not use the Eastern Sky. I basically use Agarite. I don't know. An ultramarine. I've got that one. I know that one. But I will have the name up here for you, so you don't have to go by my terrible pronunciation. But Altenew, if you don't know, have this keyhole die cutting system, this on how to put it all together. So you can see here it's almost like a little bit of a triangle sort of shape. The other one had a little variation with the shape of, see, this one's a bit more like a keyhole, the one on this one. So it has more of a keyhole with the round circle and then longer bits. The other one had a bit more of a triangle. So then I'm finding that's how you know that what goes with what. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This is caramel toffee. And we're just using a little bit. These are itty bitty tiny little things. And just to put a little bit of color on those. See here, it's just like, it's like a keyhole. It's called a keyhole, but you can see exactly where it all goes. And then you have another piece that will sit over that keyhole. So you're never gonna know it was there, people. Never. I didn't really need to use the darkest shade of my blue, the one that I can't not pronounce. But in some places you can actually see it a little bit, so it's just like, yeah, why not? Why not, people? So you can see this one goes over the keyhole and hides it all. So there is one little flower all done. And then you've got this other one that has the more different sort of shape to it. We're just using a little bit of Paper Rose liquid glue to adhere all those together. My lucky last one. See, can you see what I mean? Like the keyhole in this one is again different. Not by much, but I think it's different. I do. I find it helps to just know what goes with what and how it all fits in together. So we're just finishing off this little flower. In the video here you can't sort of see, well, I can't sort of see too much of the color, but in real life you can. And of course you could add more color or less color, because that's the way it goes. And then we'll add here this last little bit over the top, and there is our 3 flowers all done. Now with the Eastern Sky ink, I do actually use it for this. Now you may ask me, Nat, why are you using a small little blending brush, dude, on a big panel? Because the other ones are all packed at the time of making this video. That's why. So it takes me a little while, and I think I trim some of that out for you because you don't need to see it. I thought I trimmed it all out for you. I am placing my flowers over the top just to get an idea of how much higher I need to go with my flowers, with the blending, I should say. This sentiment pack is uplifting sentiments, so nothing compares to you. And I'm just using my fingers to rub it over the unused stamp. This is going to get rid of some of the residual manufacturing residue. The stuff from manufacturing, it just rubs it off a little bit, which gives you a much better stamp. I mean, they're pretty bold, so I did still go over that 2 times, but it was really only in one sort of spot that really needed to have a little bit of extra, probably a little extra oomph. With my leaves, I've just sort of left one end of them to be coloured. And as you can see here, I am trimming those down, and we will trim off more because we spent all this time with blending these leaves that it seems a bit of a waste to just use them and cut them off and not use the leftovers. It's easy to do with flowers and any of those things, just to fill in gaps. And I keep going back and forth, trying to figure out my placement. So you can see here, there's quite a few gaps, and we're going to use those to fill them up. I'm using some foam just to place my third little flower or big flower to give it a little bit more dimension. And then we will use all these, well, not all these, a few of these little cut off edges to fill in some bits and pieces. Now, if you've been on my channel any time for any length of time, you know that I do this quite a fair bit. I do it with die cuts or ephemera packs. Is that the word? I don't know. We mostly call them die cuts here. I'm just saying. But I'm not a scrapbooker, so maybe that's half my problem. I don't know. And this is the end of what I'm going to adhere down. So I'm going to trim off those last little bits again. And so you've got pickings of blue here and there. The last little bits are going to be a little bit of Wink of Stella, just because flowers need a little bit of sparkle. And that is it for my card today. I hope you're well. Take care. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.